Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is March 29th, 2022, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. markets are breaking higher as the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones both break out. Now, we're going to take a look at that in just a second. There's no major economic event scheduled for today, but as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, we're watching them pretty much mixed. While the euro gains and the British pound slides, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ continue to show strength, while in commodities, gold and oil continue to retrace. And it's the tech stocks that are breaking us higher. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin steady after a breakout, but couldn't it sustain itself? So we're going to answer that and take a look at the markets in just a second. So here we go. We're starting to look at the Euro USD 4-hour chart, and it's tight. Okay, we're in a 40 to 50 pip range here. Okay, it is tight. We're at the top of the range. We look like we're breaking that 30-day moving average at a 4-hour chart. Looking at a daily, not much doing. Okay, I mean, like you could see how tight of a range we are. We sold off, and then now we're just hitting that 8-day resistance level on the moving average as well. So keep that in mind as this is still showing itself. Now, this is not major moves, right? Looking at the GBP USD did retrace yesterday from 135-ish level, 132-ish level down to 130-ish level. So this is a pretty decent descent for it, but nothing you could have expected it. It's formalizing itself. And if we look at a daily, you could see that much clearer. Okay, that little sell-off from 132 down to 130 is a decent sell-off. Okay, but again, it would have been very hard to understand this development. Okay, now possibly we can bounce off of here. Hasn't been that much direction when it comes to Forex symbols. However, looking at commodities, here we go. Gold retracing down to 1923. Okay, it's pretty much flatlining here as the drama is coming to an end, possibly with what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, as they're saying that there's going to be some sort of ceasefire. Now, looking at crude oil trading down to 105, we did sell off yesterday, and it's an inverse relationship, right? The Dow Jones goes up, commodities go down. And if we look at the Dow Jones, let's take a look at it. We're trading right now at 34,930-ish level, and that's a big V formation. Yesterday we sold off initially, and then we had a massive rally, and now we're at the top of that range. Now, if we look at a daily, that's where we're at. This is a decent resistance-ish area. Now, when we look at the individual stocks, okay, especially in this type of environment, this is really very important, because if we look at the NASDAQ stock, let's take a look at it. I mean, this is the NASDAQ at 15,000, a big rally from 13,000 up to 15,000. That's really big. Okay, but we are hitting resistance-ish level. But look at the stocks. They're there also. They're trading with the index, right? When we look at Apple, it's at the top of the move at 175. We hit this previous move up there. Okay, so this is potentially another resistance-ish level. Facebook also, Microsoft breaking above 304 to 310. That's one of the stronger ones. Okay, but it is at that next resistance-ish level at 311. So if it doesn't break above it, it could falter and make a correctional move. Just saying. Okay, doesn't mean that we're going to sell off necessarily, but it's something to keep an eye out. Now, looking at Amazon, also traded above that 3,300-ish level on its resistance-ish level as well. Now, Tesla actually had a gap up yesterday and then a buy, gap and go. Okay, so it is hitting resistance-ish level at 111-ish level, 1,111. So keep that in mind as we're inching very close to that. I mean, we're about $30 away from that. So keep that in mind as well. Now, looking at Bitcoin, we broke out, right? We broke out from that 44,000-ish level. We're at 47,000, but it's just sustaining itself. Okay, it's not going higher, not going lower. That's something to keep an eye out as this unfolds later today. Now, in all these calls later today, just realize we're in kind of like a quandary state right now. Now, the market sold off tremendously because of what's going on in Ukraine. And then the markets rallied because the Federal Reserve kind of said it's not as bad as we think it is. and the market's rallied, and there's a tremendous short squeeze as well. So, with that said, I don't want to celebrate it too soon, but just keep in mind that the markets do rotate themselves and do make correctional moves all the time. So with that said, just trade responsibly, and it might not give it to you today, but as volatility will continue to increase towards the end of the week. So that's also something to factor in, as we've been on lower volume the first couple of days of the week. So this is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.